will be discussed. First of all, we will start with setting up Python environment. Then we'll be importing data. Then we'll be plotting a scatter plot using Python and fitting a line of best fit using Python. And we'll be using Kaggle. Kaggle, it is you can just find it from your Google Kaggle, then create an account and then you start using it to learn both R and Python. Use languages like Python and R. So let's start and see what we learn. Yeah, let me share my screen now. Yeah, first of all, setting up your Python environment, you'll need just pandas, you'll need even matplotlib, and you'll need even Seaborn. This one will enable us carry out with our studies. So these one are the packages that we needing for our studies. Let's now learn this one. Learning this one, you just come here and click, for example, this one and learn it like that one. Let's give it. Okay, you have told it to print. Okay, yeah. Then the second thing that we are going to discuss, it is importing the data. Importing the data, you just need to come here. For example, I'll be you just come here and, for example, and click the and data. In the and data, you just select the data that you want. For example, in our case, we use orange data. Kaggle, it's always good because it provides us with data just to real world data. For example, this one, and to use your data, you just come and say add your data. So we have just added the data. So now you have to create my data path, or I have called my data path. It just let us see how you normally come and select this one. You copy this one and then you paste it here. This is your data path. Don't worry about getting the data path because you can just copy and paste here. So having pasted it there, you will now call your data. I am calling it my data, and you use now the pandas that you earlier called them. Yeah, then you use the lint.sv, my data path now, the data path that you had called here now. Then so we can just see what it will bring as when we learn a new cell now. Yeah, and remember, so it has just given the output of my data end. My data end is just five observations of my data. You can see my data has how many variables. For example, it has names and diameter, width, red, green, and blue. So now it is okay. You can see now the way it is. And next we are going to plot the scatter plots. Yeah, the scatter plot now, you can plot a scatter plot using Python by just saying plot.figure. This one, it is where or allocating the size of the figure or plot area, the area that you want. You can just use 16,6. You can use anything that you want. So That one is not much difficult. Then we'll use the seaborn, as we are earlier called them seaborn as SNS. That is the package that we will be using, the seaborn. So the seaborn will help us in plotting the scatter plot, where we will say SNS dot scatter plot. X is the x-axis, which is the diameter. For example, in our data, we have used this one, diameter, and then y, it is the weight, this one. Yeah. Then we are using, which data are we using? We are using my data, the one that I called it my data here, for example. Then yeah, having done like that, you need every plot needs a title, and in a title you will do a plot dot title. That one we just called it from here, matplotlib. This one dot by this one. Now it's one that you are calling dot title. Now this one, we are, let's just say diameter and weight of orange and grapes. That is our title. Then you can need to change, or you can feel like changing the x-axis labels and y-axis labels. And just to change it, very simple, by saying this one and this one for y labels. Then you can feel like changing the background of your plot. For example, you can use different themes like dark themes, dark green theme, white theme, and so on and so on. So this one is just for that work. So let's run this one and see what it will give us. Let's give it some time. So you can see it has just given us, meaning that diameter and width are very correlated, are positively correlated. So you can see. Then we'll need to plot a line of best fit. Plotting a line of best fit is very easy within Python. So you usually say SNS dot like plot. X is our x-axis and y is the y-axis, and data we are using my data. So the same case, you add the title in your plot, and even your x labels and y labels. So let's run and see what it will give us now. Yeah, you can see it has given us something good, for the example that like that. So the other one that you can do, the other thing that we can do in our course outline was or lesson outline was plotting a line, a plotting a line, just a line of just diameter and weight of oranges and grapes. So you can, the same it's very easy, just saying SNS seaborn as 0 plus a lot, and even adding a title, you can add it like that. So I hope you are getting these things. They are very easy. Just get them as easy as they. Let's as wait as it run. So you can see you have just done some data visualization, and that's very great. And you can do many things. In the next lessons, we will be learning how we can plot your histogram, and so the output is ready. So you can see the line as the line that it has given us. So thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel.